Happy Friday, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on Business Connects with Barbara Martinez, powered by WTBQ and WGHT, North Jersey and New York City. You're listening to us on 93.5 FM, 11:10 a.m., and you can stream us worldwide on WTBQ.com. And if you follow me, Barbara Martinez, on Facebook, you'll be able to see me right now. And hopefully, do you see us right now on your Facebook? Maybe you want to share us as well on your Facebook. So that your people can watch too, even though I did tag you.
Yeah.
Let's just make sure that we're both sharing each other on Facebook so they can see who I am hanging out with today. This is Jose Morales, and he's a newly published. Is this your first time publishing a book?
Yes, it's the first time.
First time publishing a book, and it's called Press4Ward. But we'll give them a history and a background about, how that came about and everything that goes with it, right?
Yes.
In the meantime, let me just cover some quick Emporium Square Artisan Markets news. We have, it's Mother's Day. Mother's Day weekend, everybody. And we have amazing gifts at Emporium Square. Unique, one-of-a-kind, handcrafted, you name it, we have it. So if you need to get a last-minute gift for your mom or your grandma or your nana or whoever it is that you want to celebrate this weekend, come to Emporium Square. Not only do we have our regular merchants, which are amazing, like Lioness Love and Rough Inspirations and Sweets and Treats Candy Shops, Outrageous Cookie Co., Ice Caps, Gurus, Huazi Juan, The Flower Fairies, Schrader Creations, Black Dirt CBD, Fusion Eyewear, trust me, I'm going to forget somebody, Peachy Creations, Arc Crystal, Zeroism Art, we have Perth Pewter, and we have, tell me if I'm missing anybody, Arcadian Expressions, Nerdy Birdie, Gabrielito's Boutique, we have Rosa's Boutique, VASQ Boutique. Let's see, where else am I going through? Farm Body. We have Gold Star Chimney Cakes. Hopefully I didn't forget it, but Dog Moms of OCNY. Hot Donna Soaps. I'm going up and down the aisles here with in my brain. I'm trying to make sure I capture everybody. But we have amazing merchants, and they all have fantastic gift ideas. So if you are looking for that last minute gift, and here's the big thing about it, is not only fantastic, okay, it's affordable, number one, handcrafted. It is Ice Caps, I did say in the beginning, but yes, Ice Caps. It's a Wrap is also on there with us. Bella Cream is there with us. Cheito's Taino Art, Atabek's Art Gallery. Tracin Arts with her steampunk art. Everybody's gonna start coming to me. It's handmade. Okay. It can be personalized. It's unique. And the best part is you get to meet the crafter, the maker, the creator behind the gift. And so therefore it's a lot more personal. Okay. And you can get a good history behind what you get, like Clay and Crystals. She can tell you and actually show you how she created these things, be it the jewelry or anything that has to do with crystals. Or Peace and Power can show you how he creates the pieces, the unique pieces that he's created. Or Correct Custom Prints. Let's say, for example, you know someone in the health community, either a nurse or someone that works in the nursing or any health care related. She has all the custom uniforms. Okay. So rather than wearing regular scrubs, she can really customize your scrubs for you. So we have a little bit of everything. Yes, absolutely one-stop shopping. I want to say hello. Oh, Wayward Custom Leather. Yes, Elena's on it. Elena is with us with It's a Wrap, and she could tell you firsthand everyone that's on there because she's shopped from everyone that's there. She's been shopping for 9 months straight. We also have a bunch of pop-up merchants that are coming up. So not only do we have our vendors or merchants that are there every week, every weekend, we have pop-up vendors that come hang out with us as well. So for Mother's Day weekend, we are going to have Already Delish. She does like jams and like boozy jams.
That's cool. That's
We have Anne's Booty, who does, it's almost like Pirate's Booty. It's she does a lot of steampunk art and jewelry. If you guys saw the one where it looked like I had the galaxy in a heart-shaped metal, I had it on a couple weeks ago. That's Anne's Booty. Be Lively does a lot of makeup, like sparkly makeup. And she's like a chemist, so it's all like,
awesome.
you know, she knows what's hyperallergenic, and she makes sure. I'm telling you, she's like a scientist. She's like a glittery, geeky scientist. Body Mind One. Here's the good thing about Body Mind One. If you need to make breakfast in bed for mom, you can get your eggs, your sourdough bread, your scones, your cinnamon buns, your semitas. You can get it from Body Mind One this weekend to create the perfect breakfast in bed for mom. So come get your gift basket from Body Mind One. We also have Jerky Rob, because, who doesn't like jerky? And, maybe dad wants to come grab some while he's shopping for mom. Noise by Zion. She has really custom scents for mom. And Sweet Lilac Boutique. So we have 7 pop-up vendors that are going to be hanging out with our already over 40 merchants at Emporium Square. So this is the weekend, Mother's Day weekend, to come hang out with us. Hi, Evelyn. Evelyn is the proud owner of Outrageous Cookie Co. And so also keep in mind, a lot of our merchants have gift baskets that they put together. One great thing, Lioness Love has teamed up with Rough Inspirations, and they're putting together these really custom thermoses that you can have anything written on them, and it's $15. Nice. It's a hot and cold thermos, very cute, so you can get that. Huazi Juan, which is, as you can tell, Chinese, is... she has the really cool incense and the burners, and they're just so peaceful. So if you're looking for these really cool incense burners that looks like little statues, or
it's like tranquility.
Yeah. So if you're trying to create like a tranquility basket for mom, then you have it. Hand by Craft, which is one of the ones that I missed. Hand by Craft put together a Mother's Day gift basket giveaway. She teamed up with a bunch of our merchants. They put together this awesome basket, and all you have to do is follow and share the post. So go to Hand by Craft on Instagram and follow and share the post, and follow the share of the Instagram pages of the merchants that are listed that are part of this awesome gift basket. So if you have not had a chance to put in for the great gift basket that you can get, follow Hand by Craft on Instagram. To participate, you got to share and post 2 friends into the comment section. The winner will be picked randomly and announced on all participating merchant Instagram stories. So the basket has a bunch of great content. For example, a relaxation care package by Hot Donna Soaps, a relaxing energy radiance package by Hand by Craft, Mind and Soul package by Arc Crystals, Art is Magic package by Zeroism Art, custom package by Rough Inspirations, treat package by Gold Star Chimney Cakes, a one-of-a-kind package by Schrader Creations, luxury medieval package by Perth Pewter, beauty package by Manny's by Mindy, glam package by Shell's Closet, Nature's Blessing package by Bella Cream, a custom leather package by Wayward Custom Leather, and then of course the hydration package by Lioness Love. All of these merchants have teamed up together to put together an amazing Mother's Day package, and all you have to do is win it. You don't have to buy anything. You just share and comment 2 friends' names onto these posts, these participating merchants, and you have a chance to win. Okay, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to be hanging out with Press4Ward and Jose Morales here on Business Connect. Stay with us. Hi, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Ooh. That was a lot of information to share. Oh my gosh, I thought for sure I was going to miss a merchant. If I did forget a merchant, don't be shy about it. Say, hey, Barb, you missed me. Hello. And I'll make sure to announce you. But I think I did pretty good. I think I mentioned them all. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to go onto my page and see if I can share our Facebook Live. I'm not seeing it. Do you see it?
Yeah, no, I'm not seeing it either.
Where is the Facebook Live?
I don't have one of them on it.
I'm not seeing
it.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, there I am. Okay, but I can't. For some reason, I cannot share it.
Gotcha. But it gets recorded, though.
It does, but I really wanted to share the Facebook Live. Why can't I share the Facebook Live?
I have no idea how to do this. I learn as I go myself.
I don't know why it's not letting me share it. I see it. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for your support. Don't forget to mention the food. Good idea. I did forget to mention the food. I forgot Tamaleria, JB's Cafe and Grill, and Latin Flavor. I'll make sure to mention them. Good catch. Good catch. I forgot the food. How do I forget the food? That's the most important.
We Spanish.
We all need food. Oh my gosh. How did I forget? Thank you, Elena. Thank you for doing that. Oh my goodness. For some reason, I am not seeing people, and I don't know why. It's like our Facebook Live isn't connected the right way.
I have no idea. That's why I'm trying to look in here.
All right, guys. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Can somebody share the Facebook Live to my page? Share it to me. I don't know if that's possible. It says that I'm live. I'm just getting terrible at this, you guys. I don't know why.
I have no idea how this works either.
It's not letting me share for some reason. Anyway.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. All right, guys. So if you have any questions for Jose Morales, we're going to be talking about his book, Press4Ward, and we are coming back. I don't know why it's not. It's unbelievable. I'm trying to. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for hanging out with us here on Business Connects with Barbara Martinez, powered by WTBQ and WGHT, North Jersey and New York City. So I am being told that, of course, you can listen to us on 93.5 FM and 11:10 a.m. and you can stream us worldwide at WTBQ.com. But I'm trying to, we are live right now, and I'm trying to share the live onto my news feed, and for some reason it is not working. So let me know if you don't see it. I don't know why it's not letting me share. It is the weirdest thing ever. So thank you so much for everyone that's trying to help me out here. There's always something going on with the Facebook Live, always. It's a good thing that radio is consistent the way that it is. So everyone, today I'm hanging out with Jose Morales. He is the author of a newly published author of a book called Press4Ward. But before we get started on the book itself, please introduce yourself and give us some background as where did you come from and how did you get to this point?
All right. I was born in the Bronx, South Bronx, raised out there. I came up to Middletown around in 78, going to 79. Then went back to the Bronx in 82.
Where in the Bronx did you say? The South Bronx?
The South Bronx. I was down by Willis and Tinton. I grew up in Longfellow Avenue and then Bronx River Avenue.
Okay.
I went to PS 27 down by St. Mary's Park.
Okay.
And then I went to IS 116, it's an intermediate school.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to Graphics Communication Arts at the high school in Manhattan.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then up here, Middletown, I went to Liberty. It was my first school when I moved up to Middletown, 78 going on 79. I went to Memorial School when it used to be open.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to John W. Charlie School, which now is called Presidential.
Okay.
And then that was it. So.
So tell us about your journey. How did you become? So first of all, just tell us what you do. You're a motivational speaker. You're a life coach. What is
I'm a motivational speaker, and I deal with adversity. My target audience is usually anti-bullying and dealing with kids that are having crisis identity with themselves, things with mental health, depression, suicide, incarceration, kids that are incarcerated. I'm real big on those, trying to reach out to them and help them to give them a second chance. And right now, I'm at the high school, at the Ellenville High School. I'm working there as an outside contract, so I am community life mentor there. So I deal with high-risk kids, helping them get backtracked into their whole life of what they're doing. So those kids that are finding themselves into any problems or things that's going to get them to the big house. My job is to try to now initiate and try to come up with a solution for the school and the child and the family as well, to see what we can come up to better themselves to become more effective in society.
So what you're trying to do is you're identifying the children that may end up going down the wrong path,
Right.
and try to keep them on the right track,
Right.
So that you reduce the chances, hopefully,
Right.
of them.
That's the mission, trying to get the kids give them a hope and let them know that what they've done in the past shouldn't dictate who they are. Because we all go through our life, through our circumstances, and a lot of people has this problem of trying to hang that over them. And who better than the one that lived there? I lived there and breathed it, and I've been abused, I've been homeless, I've been the whole 9 yards. And so with everything with that, I thought that I should be instrumental to go out there and try to reach out as much as kids that I can to let them know, listen, I too had a problem, and I had went through certain things, and I overcome it. It wasn't easy, and it still continues to be that pattern. Like I still want to continue doing my part and let them know that I'm authentic. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. I usually tell them that's not my middle name. It's not sugarcoat. I like to be real as I can with them and let them know, yeah, you're gonna go through a lot of scratches and bumps and stuff like that. You're gonna fall down many times. The problem is if you stay down there, then now there's a problem. But as long as you know that there's some hope and there's some faith and there's somebody behind you that's supporting you in your corner, then that should give them something to make up for that pain they go through.
I know I grew up on Kingsbridge Avenue, and then we moved to 183rd Street in Ryer, and then we ended up at 156th Street in Cortland. So we moved on down the east side.
Okay.
We didn't move on up. It was we went down to the South
Going
Bronx.
up, you go down. Okay,
It was
gotcha.
going down to the South Bronx. Hi, Michelle. Michelle from Shell's Closet is on. Actually, I have my bag, Michelle.
And don't forget to mention the other ones.
Oh, yes. So I
have
forget.
to do it right
Yeah,
now.
we have to do it right now. Thank you, Elena, for letting me know. I mentioned all the merchants, but of course, I forgot really important food merchants. So Tamaleria La Poblana. And Tamaleria La Poblana is going to still celebrating their Cinco de Mayo. So even though Cinco de Mayo happened during the week, they're going to have some great things going on for Cinco de Mayo this weekend. Awesome. So make sure you hang out with them. JB's Cafe and Grill. Not only is JB's Cafe have that buffalo crack dip, which everybody loves, and serves breakfast. Don't forget, we open at 9 a.m. So if you need that bacon, egg, and cheese, or if you need that bagel, you can get it at JB's Cafe and Grill. And they're having a car show this weekend. So we have a bunch of cars coming to the parking lot to hang out with us. And then Latin Flavor is a long time resident of that location. So if you know Latin Flavor, that Spanish food, they are the ones that were there when it was a flea market. They came back. They're part of Emporium Square. So they were not around for a couple of weeks, but they are back this weekend. So if you need to get your Latin Flavor fix, this is the weekend to do it. So thank you so much, Elena, for letting me know that I forgot the food. How do I do that? The food is important.
You've been like dehydrated and starving, shopping. Like, hello.
And just so you know, you're going to see La Taza Cafe, although we were hoping to have it open for the first weekend in May. As things happen, life happens. We've been delayed a little bit. So we just want to get this coffee shop open. I didn't realize how expensive it is to put together a coffee shop. It is extremely expensive to put together a coffee shop. The espresso machine itself with the 2-group is like $5,000. So just to make you an espresso is costing me $5,000, people. But
it's worth it.
Then I have to get the grinder, and I have to get the drip coffee, and I have to get you know, all the other parts to just serve a
Just
cup
to
of
make a
coffee,
coffee.
just to make a cup of coffee that I'm going to charge you $2 for. You better thank me. I'm trying to give you a cappuccino for $2, people, and this machine's cost me $5,000.
Oh my
So yes, I see Latin Flavors on. Latin Flavor, we miss you, and we're happy that you're okay, and we can't wait to have you back. Everybody's been asking for you. Everybody's just leaving, going home hungry. They're like, "Where's Latin Flavor? When are they coming back? We're hungry." So they'll be back this weekend, just in time for Mother's Day. Yes, the coffee shop. I cannot wait. So, tell us about. Oh, Alexandros Megas is on. Hi, people. All right, everybody's is finding us. Alexandros Zeroism Art is on. Because what I was gonna do is I was gonna stop it and I was gonna go back in because I'm like, I don't understand where everybody is.
No, but that's good. Though.
I don't know. I don't.
We gotta keep pressing forward.
That's
what it is.
We gotta keep pressing forward. No pun intended. No pun intended. All right, so let's tell them really quick. How did we meet?
Well, it was an interesting story because for those of you, if you purchased my book, and my book will talk about my upbringing, and I have a whole bunch of brothers and sisters, and my youngest one, which I became attached to, the last I saw her, she was 3 years old, and her name was Barbara. And,
which is not common for a Latino name.
And
yeah.
so, which is why it ended up happening that we were following each other on Instagram, and then one day you had to do a speaking up in Peddington Farm.
Yeah.
And I was telling my lady, I was like, I got to go see this woman because I don't know. Something's telling me I had to go see her and ask her if she's my sister because I've been searching for my sister for a long time. And I was like, she has the same features as my sisters and everything. And so I was hoping, I crossed my finger, and I showed up. And then I was like, I just got to ask her one question. And because my woman was like, are you sure? You sure? I'm like, I don't know what she is, but I just want to ask her one question, who's her mother? With that said, that's just going to shut it or just keep it going. And I remember I asked you, like, what's your mother's name? And I said, is it Yolanda? And you were like, no. And I was like, all right, let's cut it right there. It's like, let's just stop it right there. So, but
you do realize that we're all related in some way, shape, or form, right?
It's like, you know, somebody's cousin, sister, brother, niece, or someone is some out there is related. So, but it was an honor. So then from that point on, I was like, no, regardless whether you're my sister or not, I was like, I got to follow and support her because I definitely believe in what you do. The background, I thought I think that's what more attracted me to come and see you was because you had the same upbringing as I did, and I was like, wait a minute, she had to be my sister, but who the hell's gonna go through all that hell and still manage to overcome all those obstacles and be where she's at now? Mm-hmm. So, and that's what that started. That's when we met.
It's funny how we can all live our own lives, but then we start telling our stories and mm-hmm. how it resonates with a lot of people. I mean, I went through homelessness and periods of not eating because we just didn't have food. Right. And so, you know, being a child in the Bronx and
female, especially
in living that situation, it was my mission, right, to get on that subway at 14, 15 and make my way to Manhattan because I wanted to grab a hot chocolate and a bagel and sit at like the Chelsea Park and get myself out of that environment. And that was the only way I knew how to feel, right? So, to look at the clothing on the windows of Banana Republic and thinking to myself that one day I'll wear those clothes. Right. One day I'll be able to, I'll have money in my pocket and I'll be able to actually buy something at a cafe in a place like Manhattan.
It is important.
And it was my what kept me motivated.
The drive.
Yeah, the drive to say, I'm going to go to John Jay College. And I did. I'm going to end up in Marist College. And I did. So it was just saying, I'm going to do these things and actually doing them. And important. It's not easy. It's, there are times when, I question whether or not what I'm doing is the right thing. And especially when you're beaten down so much that you just start questioning whether you're doing what's right for you.
Because then you lose sight of what you want to do. Because then you feel like you're doing what other people want you to do. And then you finally find yourself again. You get all collective and you be like, okay.
Yes, I'm in the right
You always
place.
have that one person that kind of remind you, remember this is what, or what you did or what you said, and that's like, okay, this is why I'm doing it.
I mean, and we have our ups and our downs. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
2 days ago, I had a serious low. It was like, I was just like not in a good place. And then 2 days later, I'm okay.
Oh, perky. We're like, yeah, nothing happened. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with me? I'm okay.
I'm fine.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
fine.
what's wrong with you?
So we all go through that. So it's great to have someone like you that can talk to children or to even adults that
target
you
whoever.
can relate. You can relate to, and you can say, "I've been there. I've seen it. I've heard it," and you can get out of it. And this is how. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to talk about this book that I have in my hand on Business Connect. Stay with us. Right, you never know what you can do until you try. It's true. Sometimes you just feel so beaten down that you're like, what am I doing this for, and why,
and for whom?
And for whom, right? And the thing is, it's funny how the people that really try to bring you down do it the loudest.
Right.
So, and you forget, you may have 10 people that are backing you, but you got that one person that's trying to take you down, and that's the one that you hear the loudest. And so it starts to really wear on you because you start questioning everything that you
because
do.
here we're in a position to try to give some positive vibes to people, give them hope, give them some sort of faith. And then yet a lot of people don't realize it takes a lot for people like ourselves to still maintain and keep moving. And, like, all right, whatever. Though, somewhere in the back of your mind hurts, but you will be like, are you going to let that affect you, or are you going to let it be the anchor that's going to make you, connecting with people? And they were like, all right. I became to the point where I said, you know what? I want to prove those that want me to see it fail succeed, and then I'm going to send them a thank you note.
Yeah.
Like, thank you,
You
because
just
of
motivated
you.
me.
Yeah, because of you, I'm where I'm at,
me.
and I just keep it coming because I want this. I want the negative feedback because it's what's going to recharge me.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you almost feel like you're always fighting upwards, and it's just like it gets exhausting. But just because it looks like we carry it easy doesn't mean it's heavy. It isn't heavy. It's heavy, and we try to, we look like it's easy. Oh, things come so easy. They just look fine all the time, but
they're always happy and smiling.
They're always happy and smiling, But you see people like, for example, I don't want to bring up, suicide, but you see people like Robin Williams, who
he made us laugh.
He made us laugh. Awesome. He always looked happy. He always looked like he was the guy you wanted to be around, and he was battling really deep depression. So it's just,
Masquerade.
You see people that always seem to look like they are the happiest, and sometimes they're just
those are the ones
just
that
trying
are
to survive.
Those are the ones that are hurting.
So we have Elena asking, do you do motivation in bilingual?
Hopefully I'll be doing that. My Spanish is what they call a New Yorican. It's broken. So it's like, mira, ven aquí. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So,
My broken Spanish.
Yeah, so I don't know like those proper Spanish, but I would do speak Spanish in certain areas, and I kind of let them know, listen, this, if you don't understand, let me know. I'll kind of break it down. So, but I target on both sides because I also know that Latinos need it as well. Need that help. So
yeah.
All right,
we're coming back. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for staying with us here on Business Connects with Barbara Martinez, powered by WTBQ and WGHT, North Jersey and New York City. You're listening to us on 93.5 FM, 1110 a.m. You can stream us worldwide on WTBQ.com, and even though my Facebook is acting weird, for some reason, I'm not seeing anybody. I don't know if anybody's not seeing me. We are live on my Facebook page. So if you want to check out what we're talking about, I'm hanging out with Jose Morales. He is a newly published author of Press4Ward. And just tell us a little bit of background about what Press4Ward is and how did it start?
Press4Ward started with, there was a time in my life where I was living in a dark area. And I was pretty much trying to figure who I am, what was my purpose, why am I here? Because every time it seems like whatever I was touching was not going good. And so I I started then just praying on it. And then I remember one day that I was asking the Lord, listen, you need to help me do something right, because at the end of the day, I'm just going to throw in the towel, because I felt like I was not getting anywhere with everything I was trying to accomplish. And then I remember getting this verse in my head, which was Philippians 3:12 to 16. But as I was reading it, 3:14 stood up, and it said, pressing towards the ultimate goal. And it just kept on and so on with the verse. And then that became the birth of Press Forward. So that kind of told me that, listen, don't give up, because quitting is not an option. You know, I got these people, you know, like all these people that overcome, that are successful, had to go through dark areas before they became where they became at. And I then understood that. And so that's how Press Forward started. And from that point on, I never looked back. So what I ended up doing was I used my stumbling stone and used it as my stepping stone.
Very good. I mean, I'm holding your book here. When did your book get published?
They got published, actually it was this year.
This year?
Yeah, it was this year.
Was it always called Press Forward?
It was Next Level. It was actually, when I started, it was Next Level, but then there were so many companies with Next Level, and I didn't want to get sued. And so I just kind of backed off away from it. And so what ended up happening was...
so you rebranded yourself?
Yeah, so I rebranded myself with that point that when I understood through what I went through. And then I was like, you know what, this makes more sense, because then I remember having a discussion with someone. They're saying, well, what's that? What is it with Press Forward? What is it? What are you trying to, like, do? And I was like, well, I'm trying to press forward and finish strong. Yeah. And that's how my slogan stood.
You know, it's funny because I use the hashtag keep moving forward, and every time I'm feeling,
some sort of down or something.
Down, you know, I remind myself that I just have to keep moving forward.
Right.
I just got to keep pushing through, and it's not going to be easy. Sometimes I have to drag myself out of bed to do it. But I'm holding your book here. What is this? Is this
that's
Brooklyn?
The Brooklyn Bridge. Yeah.
We're in Brooklyn Heights here.
That's a Dumbo Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh yes.
And it was crazy because I went to go down to the Bronx to do the cover, because that's where I'm from. And so we were short on time, and the lady that took the picture, she's an awesome lady, Lucindy Garcia. She's my photographer. She's the one that did the book. She's like, well, let's just go there. And I'm like, oh, why not? I just want some cities, like the skyscraper, something, in the background.
This is Brooklyn Heights.
Yeah.
I remember it because I was just there. Oh. I was just there with Orlando.
It was crazy because I've been in the Bronx
Heights.
for so damn long. I never even went to Brooklyn.
Did you see how beautiful Brooklyn is?
Nice.
When we're from the Bronx, we never go to Brooklyn, right?
We go to Manhattan instead.
We go to Manhattan, and we don't realize what we've missed out in Brooklyn. Brooklyn is beautiful. There's just so much going on there.
Things in there.
So on the back of your book, you write, no one goes through life unscathed. We all go through crisis, some more than others. Most of us have issues and challenges, and there is no one magic bullet to cure all of them. Individual mentality and spirituality can help us handle what one is going through. So I thought about it and took my mentor's advice and started to write down what I did to overcome with adversity and how I continue to press forward and finish strong. So, I'm going to just read you in here, right on the preface. He starts, let me begin here. I knew years ago that at some point down the road I would be writing a book, but never in a million years would I have thought I'd be writing about my personal life story to inspire and motivate people. Mm-hmm. Had you asked me as a young child what I saw myself becoming when I got older, I would definitely not have seen myself doing anything I'm doing now, being a motivational speaker. So you are taking your life story, your life experience to try, even though times change and there's evolution in life. We are all go through things in our lives that can either push us and have us spiral down into a place where
you have a mental breakdown.
You have and you potentially do not recover from, or you take that as a way to motivate yourself to get yourself out of the situation. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, most often it's the first. It's the latter. It's not the latter. It's the beginning of children struggling to find a purpose and stay on track. So you were approached by the principal of the school and said, we need this kind of support for our children.
Right now I'm a community life mentor up in Ellenville High School, New York. And how that came about was there was a gentleman there named Assistant Principal Frank Mohorn. He ended up calling me, and then he talked to me about, listen, I heard about you. I heard that you do the speaking and all the good things that I'm hearing from the general public and so on. I'll definitely like you to come up to one of our board members meeting that we have in town and get to meet other people. So maybe we can try to do something, because he was in a place where he's trying to connect with kids. And so what ended up happening was, it was crazy because, like they say, like you never know, in the past always meet you up in the future, because I started talking to this guy and I didn't even know who he was. And then eventually when we meet up, I looked at him, I was like, oh, wait a minute, you got to be kidding me, because this guy used to be my boss 20 years ago at the group home in Pius 12 when I was a counselor.
Okay.
And that's how that started. And so he was so excited, because then he was like, oh my goodness, it's a reunion. So it's like something great for him, because this program that has started with him years ago at the group home, he's now implementing this in the high school with the men's, My Brother's Keepers and BFI. And it's a better future incentive, and they do all kinds of stuff. So he's trying to plug everything in. And he was so excited. It was like, listen, you have to come on board, man, because who better than the person that I used to do this with? And then I took it and I jumped on it, and that's where I'm right now doing mentoring kids that are.
It's amazing where life leads you, right? Where it takes you.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So let's. I'm on your first chapter here, and you have 4 bullets. Let's talk a little bit about these 4 bullets. You have compassion, acts of kindness, empathy, and respect. What are you talking about when it comes to these?
I would like to, when I see or hear those words, that's something that reflects who I am, because of the fact that what I've been through, and something that I never liked that they've done to me when I was a kid and throughout my life in my adulthood. And I've always been a person that I believe about being compassionate. It doesn't matter who you are, what color, what nationality, what you living style is. I really don't care. That's just me. And then I'm big with respect, because it's a two-way street, you know. So but even with that, I have people that are still nasty, and I still give them the respect, because at the end of the day, I now know what I've been through. That person's probably going through the same thing, and that's why that person's acting the way he's acting. We never know what's going on in their backyard. But back then, I didn't care. Right. You know, it was like, what's your deal? Like,
a lot of times people that are hurt, other people. Right. And sometimes we have to remind ourselves that when someone is not particularly kind or nice to you, that really it's not about you. Right. It's about themselves. And so try not to internalize.
It's very easy for us to be, as human, just react to something like that instead of just sitting back and kind of look at what's going on. Not a lot of people do that, and then, so they don't be like, okay, let me just sit back and see what's the deal with this person or what they're going through. It's like automatically we get in a defensive mechanism and we're like, we want to fight. It's like, well, that's not going to solve a problem either. So that's just going to escalate the problem. So, and
it's really easy to say that. I mean, because I know we're human, so there are times where there's only so much that you can take until you finally snap, and you're like, I've dealt enough with this, and I am no longer going to be nice about this. Right. The next time that you speak to me that way, or the next time, so it just becomes harder sometimes, because when you are approached in that manner, by people, your instinct is to say, what did I do to you? Right. What's your
I don't even hardly know you. So.
I don't even know you, and you're attacking me. And here's the thing, in the life that you're living with putting yourself out here with this book, in the life that I live,
they're open target.
These people think that it's open season because you live a public life, and so they feel that they have the right to attack without even knowing you. They feel they have the right to form opinions
Right.
of you, speak of you as if they know your life.
Right, which is
You
all
know?
good because you got freedom of speech, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's it is what it is, and that's the bad part. It's like they're gonna be like, "Well, who are you to tell me what to say?"
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're gonna be like, "Okay, so we're back to square one." So
We're going to take a little break. When we get back, more with Press Forward on Business Connect. Stay with us. Hi, everybody. Tell me about it. I've been through a lot this year. Yep, this is, she has been. You know what? Maybe you should come talk to her. This is Latin flavor. Her mama passed away. And there's we've all been through so much this year. We've lost people.
the pandemic didn't help anything either.
We've dealt with things that we just didn't think we would survive. And I think that we're all at a point that we're just exhausted. And you start to question why you're still doing what you're doing, and you just want to throw in the towel.
It's
and
easier
just,
to quit than to move on.
But you know, I always say people, and I say to myself as I'm looking in the mirror, remember your why. Why are you doing this?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not for anyone else. It's for yourself. And if it's no longer giving you purpose, if it's no longer giving you the happiness that you seek, then it's time to reevaluate and change things. But don't give up. You just gotta, we've all had to shift.
You just gotta find out. Once you find out what your problem, what's causing the anger, what's causing the downfall, you have to figure out a solution to it. Because for me, it's like I know every problem contains its own solution, and it's hard. It's like it's easier said than done. But trust me when I'm saying it, that you have to find what's gonna really trigger you back in gear. It's not gonna happen overnight, but
talking about it, talk about it to someone that you can trust and confide, because it's also very hard.
Right.
Like, you don't want to tell people your personal business because you don't want
like,
anybody else to know.
hotline.
Yeah, Bochinche hotline happens. But talk to someone that you can confide in.
Yeah.
And a lot of times life coaches or motivational speakers are the ones to talk to, because they are the ones that
we're supposed to be our problem solution. That's our job, to come up with a solution that's going to benefit you in that style for your needs. Because whatever I say, it might not work for you, but it will work for the next person. But then I had to figure out what is it that's triggering you. So that's usually how it works. We have
Elena. She said 2 years has been rough. She has lost about 26 family members and friends.
Oof.
26.
Look me up. We can talk. Look me up.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for staying with us here on Business Connects with Barbara Martinez, powered by WTBQ and WGHT. Today, I'm hanging out with Jose Morales. He's a newly published author and motivational speaker. The book is called Press4Ward. Where can people get your book?
You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on ebook. You go Walmart. You just go online. You can look it up. Usually a lot of people have been going to CompelAmerica.org. That's the organization that I work with and deal with. They have all my information on page. And if you click on it, it's going to say Our People, and then just click on Ambassadors, because I'm one of the ambassadors for anti-bullying. And on there, it's going to explain everything I do, my curriculum, and what purpose I serve. And on there, we'll also have a link to buy my book. And you can get right on it.
So we have here, I've jumped over to chapter 14. These were questions and answers I put myself through in order to figure out who I am, and quotes that lead me to question myself. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of, I don't know, do you want to just grab some
right
of your
ahead.
favorite ones? Okay. Here's one. It says, I am one in a million. There may be others that look like me, but there is only one me. Learn how to make that special quality become your biggest asset. Be relentless with the passion that you have found within yourself and run with it. People will not understand you. Continue to press forward. 80% of people do not care about your problems, and 20% are happy that you have them. That's craziness. It's craziness, but it's true. It's true.
They always say they want to see you succeed, but then in the back of their mind, they're constantly thinking that you just got it on the plate. They just handed it to you, not realizing we work hard for what we at. I mean, everyone, even in this radio station, that they did what they had to do to be where they at. It's not, hey, here's a microphone and do what you got to do. It doesn't work that way. You know, you have to put into it. And so people think, you know.
Do not take advice from Mr. and Mrs. Know-it-alls, the ones who tell you what you need to do, but they do not apply it within their own lives. Do not listen to naysayers or haters, because nothing is impossible. And I like this one. Everyone likes to pass judgment, possibly without being aware of their hurtful action. And so, you know, passing the judgment is really, people will try to tell you what they think you should be doing with your life, but you answer yourself what it is that your mission is. You need to remember your why. And say, this is why I'm doing it. These are the reasons I am doing it. And there's something within me that's pushing me to do it. There is inspiration all around you. And you just got to remember what it is that keeps you motivated, and surround yourself with that passion. There are a lot of people out there that can fuel that fire in the right way, the positive way. You just have to surround yourself with people that, look, we're all going through things, you know, and sometimes just talking about it. I know that we try to keep ourselves, you know, to ourselves, but just listening to people, you know, like, for example, Jose Morales, there's another one out there. I think you know him. Oh gosh, I'm forgetting his name. I'm forgetting his name, but he's in Newburgh. You're gonna hate me for forgetting you, but we have a lot of great people out here in the Hudson Valley as well that can support and listen to you and potentially guide you, even if it's just a conversation. I mean, we have people at our emporium like Zeroism Art and even Art Crystals that, even though she's there with her crystals, can really motivate you and talk to you. You really feel a release when you go into Art Crystals or even Zeroism Art and you start talking to them, even per computer.
Especially when you find out what prompted them to be where they're at. And it's you know, it's a big thing for me. My thing was, I don't want to motivate people. I want to inspire people. It's a big difference, because motivation, it's just a feeling that once it's there, that's it, now it's gone. But when you inspire somebody, it triggers them to get into gear, to be in action. So,
sometimes people just need to hear from, not necessarily advice, and not necessarily to be told what to do. They need somebody to say, listen, I see you. You're amazing. Keep doing it. You're doing fine. You're surviving, you know, and you inspire people, and that's what you just, you don't, I don't need your advice. I just need someone, sometimes you just need someone to listen and to say, you know, you're not crazy. We all go through this. We all have our ups and downs, but keep going. Because you know what? You may not feel it, but every day you're inspiring somebody by something so simple.
Even your action speaks louder than words sometimes. However you conduct yourself, sometimes you can see the difference if somebody looks all busted up and they walk in a room, they're like, oh. But when someone looks like they care about themselves and they walk in the room, you can tell. You sense that presence. It's like, who's this guy? And it's probably nothing big. Or who's this lady? It's just who they are as a person, because they're still moving in that gear. They bring that good vibe in the air. You feel the energy. It's positive.
I just want to give a shout out to Alexandros Megas. I like to say his name. I have to get ready for the magical portrait revelation this weekend. He did my magical portrait, so it's going to be revealed this weekend. I'm excited. Awesome. Yes. Awesome. You know, as Alexandros Megas has been on the show with me 2 times, and both times people are at the edge of their seats because he's talking about, you know, inspiration and motivation, and people sometimes just want to hear, you know, sometimes when you listen to someone else's struggle, you think to yourself, okay, I'm not the only one. You know, they're going through a struggle too, and look what they've accomplished and done. I can do it too. They can do it. I can do it. And I say to people all the time, I have been, like I said, I've been homeless, slept on a park bench on Pole Park in the Bronx. I have, in the winter, you know, I have know what food insecurity is. I've known all of that. I've experienced all that. And so a lot of times I say to people, a lot of what I deal with right now is a cakewalk compared to what I had to deal with when I was a homeless girl in the Bronx. You know, so like some people try to hurt you, with their words or their actions. And I look at them and I go, you have no idea what I survived. You are just you.
Sometimes it's aggravating and annoying, but it's like, all right, do you want to go down? Do you want to low down your standards now?
Yeah.
And bother with this? We're like, maybe some other time when I'm in a bad mood.
When I'm in a bad mood, maybe.
Yeah.
Today you're not going to take away my shine.
Right.
But we all experience it, and this past year, we've all talked about it. 2020 has been absolutely amazingly difficult. 2021 hasn't gotten that much better, but we are seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. And so, you just, again, you have to keep pressing forward. You got to keep moving forward, and try to remember who you are, why you're doing it. And if you need to reevaluate, maybe find someone that you can trust to talk to. Pick up this book, Press4Ward by Jose Morales. Check this book out. Maybe this will inspire you to write your story, and hopefully inspire and motivate others. Tell us, I see that you're holding a quote here.
Yeah, because I usually, if you get the book, you'll get to know what really started me off. But I'm just going to jump real quick and let you know. When I speak to kids or adults, I let them know that I'm totally different than what they've seen, because sometimes their outer appearance doesn't look like nothing else.
Right.
But when I let them know that I'm hearing impaired, I'm deaf in one ear and moderately lost on the other, my trait is I read a lot of lips. So now with this COVID, with the mask, it jacked me up.
You're like, so nobody's talking to me.
Yeah, so now I got to put like my hearing aid like 40 decibel louder than what it is and catch myself a headache, but all because I want to understand what people are saying. And so we need to know that in order for you to move forward in life, you have to forgive yourself. So I wrote down that the truth is, unless you let go, unless you forgive yourself, unless you forgive the situation, unless you realize that the situation is over, you cannot move or press forward in your life.
Yeah.
So you got to also understand that you got to forgive yourself in order for you to get moving. Because a lot of us are easy to forgive others, but we don't forgive ourselves. And that's the key right there. You can't do nothing for somebody else if you're broken and damaged. You got to realize that it's okay to be broken and damaged. But what it is that's going to help you move in life. We tend to do that. We are our worst enemies. Like, I remember giving out, a lady asked me about what helps me motivate myself, and I told her, listen, I just write 10 things down that inspire me. I don't put nothing negative, because I will write more negative things than I would of positive. I will override it, if anything. And so I started writing down certain things that motivate me, and then I started taking out 3 things that I can see myself doing. And then I started doing that, and that's what kind of recharged me and helped me realize, okay, I have a purpose, because I'm not doing it for somebody else. I'm actually doing it to heal myself and let other people know that, listen, it's okay to go through a downfall, but it's not okay to stay there.
Do you write everything down? Do you suggest people to write things in a
sometimes,
journal?
yeah. Well, I have the bad habit. I just started writing things down because some of my mentors were like, yo, you got to write things down, because I'm more the guy that if I know whatever I'm going to speak, I'm going to go in there, and that's where I inject it. I don't know if it's just because I'm gifted that way or whatever it is, but I cannot read off something because it makes me feel like I'm being scripted.
Right.
I'm not being authentic. I'm not being real. So I go in, so if I'm in an audience where I can feel the energy's up, it's game.
Okay.
You know, because now I'm going to bring them into me. I don't stand up in the stage and be like, hey, whatever. I like to be in the crowd, walking around.
In the moment, feeling the vibe.
Because I want to let them know that each and every one matters. You know,
right.
You have a purpose. You have a purpose. You have a mission, and you matter. In this world, you matter. Whether your parents can say you were a mistake, screw them. At the end of the day, you're you. And so now you break that cycle. And that's what I had to do. I would continue the same damn cycle as my family. And then, and I was like, oh, my father this, my father that. But then I'm like, wait a minute. If I'm complaining so much, I need to do something about it.
Yeah. And
so that's what became more effective, because I'd be like, listen, I'm almost the same trail as my father, but now I'm not doing nothing about it.
Well, everyone, make sure that the show is over. Make sure you grab the book Press4Ward by Jose Morales. Come join us this weekend at Emporium Square. Thank you so much for listening to Business Connects on WTBQ. Everyone, it's radio worth listening to. Bye-bye, everybody. I cannot believe we ran out of time. I'm looking at I'm looking at the clock like, oh my gosh.
That's why I'm like, wait, let me get very quick. I'm looking, wait.
Oh my God.
When I do on the stage, they do the same thing, and the guys are like, yo, wrap it up. I'm like, what? I got more to say. I'm like, oh, crap.
I just want to let you know you got bleeped for saying screw them. He was like, I think he may have bleeped you for damn too. still the lowest. Who got the most? I think it was Alexandros Megas got the most bleeps.
I was working on it, so I was like, okay, don't say this, don't say that. You're not in the street. Let's not act thug.
Let's not act thug. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us and watching. Make sure you grab the book, Press Forward, Jose Morales. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on compel.org, did you say?
CompelAmerica.org.
CompelAmerica.org?
Yeah.
CompelAmerica.org.
It's an anti-bully organization.
Make sure you grab the book. How can people, because I didn't get a chance, how can they connect with you?
On Instagram, Press Forward to the Next Level.
Okay.
You're gonna see the covers. It doesn't look similar to this, but it's similar to this, but it's in black and white. And on Facebook as well. And then the link, I'm also in the same thing, Press Forward to the Next Level. But I'm mostly hanging out in Instagram.
Okay.
You can DM me there, and then I can walk you wherever you need to do if you want to talk to me. I don't charge for session or talking, so I love the whole thought of being able to do something for anyone and change their life if I can. And so I don't do no charges unless they call me to go to a school or to speak in public community, and community or anything.
Right.
But other than that, anyone that wants to talk to me online or anything like that, I'm available. So just hit me up.
Okay, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you this weekend for my magical reveal, portrait reveal. We have Mother's Day weekend. We have Cinco de Mayo. This is going to be a jam-packed weekend at Emporium Square. We got a car show. We got everything. We got everything going on this weekend.
Good.
It's going to be a crazy weekend, so make sure you hang out with us. All right. Thank you, everybody. Say bye-bye.
Bye.